morning. I thought it's such a beautiful day today in Pittsburgh that I give you a tour of the TurboHarp headquarters here in Pittsburgh. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, by the way. Let's start with the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. I'm going to start actually with the Pittsburgh bus. The University of Pittsburgh is where I used to work as a Department of Surgery professor, also in the Department of Biomedical Engineering. It's when I took a leave of absence from that department when I started the TurboHarp company. So it happens here, 3500 Fifth Avenue, next to the Heber's Drug Store, right at the intersection of the medical center in Pittsburgh. So when I go through that door, Professor Antaki turns into Turbodog Antaki.
Come on into the main office. The first thing you're going to notice is the official name of the company is Antaki Inc. It actually dates back to when I was in about 6th grade, and I kept the name. Also, being a child of the 1970s, I collect a lot of retro graphic and retro products with the Matix theme. So welcome to Harmonica Street, and you'll see a whole range of retro-looking, streamlined graphics here that I find inspiring. I'll show you a picture of a news article of my artificial heart pump. That is kind of my claim to fame in the medical field. And then here's, coincidentally, a Pittsburgh Post-Gazette article titled Cluttered and Creative. And it's actually all about this office that you're about to see. Okay, so the first thing you see when you walk in is a showcase of Matix and harmonicas. Magnus was one of my favorite companies. I think that Mr. Magnus was a genius, and it's such a shame that they went out of business. But I gained inspiration by looking at Mr. Magnus. That's Magnus's accordion, and this is Magnus's chromatic harmonica. And then in here, other kinds of matic, the Scratch-O-Matic, the Label-Matic, the Drain-O-Matic, Roll-O-Matic, that's just an old harmonica, another Magnus product, Electromagnet, nameplate machine, Name-O-Matic, etc., etc. You get the idea. Okay, we come into the main office. Okay, this is staying here because it's actually getting moved to my house, but this is a gigantic version of a voltmeter that I had as a kid. Mine was actually this big. All right, main office. This plant was about this big when I first moved here in 1999, so it gives you an idea. There's a guitar that I never play. Picture of Bob Dylan that I, again, draw inspiration. This is the highlight of my career. This is me actually meeting Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers, in Fred Rogers' neighborhood, and this is an autographed version of the Mr. Rogers neighborhood trolley. I have various patents for blood pumps and also for harmonicas around the room, again, to kind of inspire myself. We don't get a lot of visitors, so most of this is really to impress me more than impress other people. More streamlined products. Here's a desk that I made out of plywood. It's been here since 1999 and it's served me well. A nice little showcase collection of some of the prototypes of our harmonicas, also some other classic antique harmonicas. So here is like the very first turbo slide and the next generation turbo slide. So these are turbo slides. These are Bonson overblow harmonicas, and then these are parts, actually right here, parts of the electric harmonica. This is one of the first prototypes of the turbo lid. This is the very first turbo lid. It was made out of clay that I fashioned exactly to my hand. It even still fits my hand perfectly while I was watching TV one day. I just wanted something that was comfortable and that seals the air pocket around my hand. That was inspired actually by Phil Wiggins. All right, this is my working area, more, bric-a-brac related to, looks like medicine and harmonicas and omatics. And then here is what you might call my physical to-do list. I'm working on a lot of things at once, and I can't seem to finish them very efficiently. But nevertheless, this is an idea that never really caught on for a modular harmonica. I had an idea of having these little modules that you would snap together and kind of make your own harmonica. This is an ongoing project, the gappable harmonica. That one's coming along. It's about, I'd say, 70% or so. But I have an attention deficit problem. I can't seem to finish things that I've started. So I got 70% and then moved on to something else. It could have been this. This is a tunable harmonica. Let me pick a different note. So I thought that has some merit and that would be handy. Oh, this is my to-do list. Some of the things are checked off. This is an interesting little experiment that I had done early on when I was investigating the effect of the oral volume versus the comb volume. And it was partly performed to debunk the mystery that the comb material has any effect on the sound. And it was to show that's actually the comb volume. I can do a separate video on that, but I'll try to do one example just to show you what I mean. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you hear the difference? There's louder and softer and also different overtones. So I don't know what exactly to do with this as far as making an improved comb, but it's, I think, an important discovery, an important point, because it greatly affects the timbre, the sound of the harmonica. It also affects its bendability. Okay, here's prototypes of the blinking Christmas harmonica. This is a bracelet that I dismantled. And I might swing you back over here because here's some prototypes of that were kind of hacked together. So there's the bracelet glued onto a green harmonica. This is a different kind of bracelet with little Christmas lights. Why I distracted myself with such frivolousness, I don't know. But nevertheless, we're now trying to market a Christmas harmonica. So this is another prototype of the actual product that we hope to sell. It's made in China, or at least the LED strip is made in China, and it's assembled here. All right, anything else? Not really. More bric-a-brac and inspirational streamlined products. This is Aaron's office, where all the orders are taken. You can see in here is also more of my kind of overflow, and also numerous turbo lids that we experimented with different kinds of patterns while we were developing the deluxe lid. And some of these we just never developed completely. I think we can have it go back out, look at another harmonica case, and take you into the packing and shipping department. Alright, so here's where we keep a good bit of our inventory. If I'll take you back here, you can have a look at the turbo lids and all of their splendid colors, the psychedelic and plated lids. You can see some orders that are kind of half ready to ship. This happens to be a big order going to Korea. Different kind of degrees of assembly here, and then this would be the shipping table. Let me take you to 2 more offices. Okay, this office is kind of our warehouse. We've got a lot of turbo lids. And it's not because I'm a hoarder, but because when you buy something that's injection molded, you have to buy pretty much like 1,000 of them at a time. So we have thousands and thousands of turbo lids. And we have many of these harmonica cases and an embarrassing number of clamshell cases. that hopefully will couple with the Christmas harmonica. All right, one more office. At one point in time, I was actually doing consulting from this office. So I had an employee working here doing design and some electronics. So it's kind of become a secondary office where I do all of my CAD work. We're doing the MIDI harp here. These are some parts from the MIDI harp. In my top pocket, coincidentally, is the new comb for the MIDI harp. And this afternoon, I'll hope to be meeting a gentleman to work on the MIDI harp. And I think that's about the sum total of this side of the office. So the next stop is going to be across the hall where I do all of the R&D. Oh, hello there. Thanks for visiting. It's